everyone, it's Sharon Blain here and I'm at the Moroccanoil studio and I'm going to teach the students today how to create a really big messy ponytail. Now it's really popular in Australia, guys, so I thought not only did I want to teach you how to do a messy pony, but I also wanted to show you how to tease properly, because I think teasing is something that people struggle with. So the first thing I'm going to do is, obviously you can see I've taken a little piece of jewelry that's wrapped around my ponytail so it looks a little bit more glamorous. The biggest thing whenever I teach teasing is that how high and how big do you want the shape? All right? So when you think of high, do I want it to sit up this high? Do I want it elevated back a little bit, or do I want it at a lower elevation? So whatever height I choose will be the height that the shape will finish at. So my preference will be at about this height. So my first section, I'm going to slice through. Now, one of the things I would recommend is whenever you tease, if you weren't teasing for a big shape, but you were teasing off the scalp all the way through, I recommend a very subtle zigzag shape section. It's not necessary here because it will connect. There's your model up the front. It will connect, but if you're doing from the scalp all the way through, it doesn't connect well if you don't do a little zigzag. So imagine a micro foil zigzag. Each time you section with a little foil, like a little zigzag, each lot of your tease sections will lock into the last one and you won't get lines through it. All right, so let's look at where we're going. I'm putting a little tiny spray of, what is this called?
Dry shampoo.
So it's a dry shampoo from Moroccanoil. The reason why I'm using that is I need to get a bit of grip. These dolls are quite clean from what we've been doing today, so we need to get the grip. Narrow tooth comb is super important. And as I hold it with strength. And I'm starting with my comb tilted down and it's going to flip over. So I'm going to flip, flip, flip. And as I do that, I build up the base. And when I build up my base, I then pack. So what I refer to this as stack and pack. Now I'll comb through and I'll move up, stack and pack. Keep all these pieces together and stack and pack. Now, wherever I want the height to finish is where I stop my teasing. So I never continue past the height. If I tease this all the way through to the ends, the hair would go rough and I wouldn't have a nice polished finish to it. So if you take the teasing right to the end, you'll end up with a fairly rough finish to it. So let's just take that out of the way. So I've started off at this angle here. As I move down, I'm going to now take my elevation, drop it lower down. So virtually it's coming off the head here at 90 degrees. So if you look at this line off the head, coming straight through there. So once again, a little sort of section, not so thick that you can't tease it, but not so skinny that it just gets into like a whole knot of hair. So spray it nicely underneath, comb it thoroughly through, and start moving that comb and stacking that base really strong. Now, if you can learn to do this technique, you will be able to master some of the most amazing big hairstyles, okay? It's all about the technique to get the base in. And if I can make sure that this hair is sitting straight off the head like that, I know that I've done a good job. Now, a lot of people often use a teasing brush. The reason why I'm not a brush fan for this type of technique is because I feel it puts too much air in the hair. So it's more sort of more textured and airy, where this is strong like a foundation. It's like putting concrete into the hair. When I feel it, it feels very, very strong as well. So I'll come through, just do a little bit more just to be sure, and we'll take that out of the way. So we've come now at 90. We're now going to drop lower because this pony is going to swivel all the way around to the bottom. So I'm going to change my elevation as I drop around the pony. Now we spray it underneath. So people often say to me, do you always go underneath? And I say, I go underneath when I want volume. But when I want the hair to be flat, I actually go on top. So you always go underneath for volume. Now I want this to be a little bit flatter, so I'm starting to move that down so I've got my volume. But see how the hair's curving around as I do that? So volume, and then I'm flattening on the top. So we'll take that one out of the way just for the moment, and we'll take this very last section, spray a little bit of product once again underneath. So this is the Moroccanoil texture spray.
Dry shampoo.
Sorry, dry shampoo. Come right in underneath, just a little bit there, a little bit of packing. But now we're going to come on the top and push and push and push till I get it closer onto the head. So that will keep the elongation of the ponytail as well. Now as we drop section by section, can I ask you to hold that front for a moment? I'm now just going to connect the second to the last, the second last to the last. And I will now take these over and connect down. So just a little bit of connection to bring it down, and a little bit of connection to bring it down. So can you see how I've created like a cartwheel of teasing? Now, the next thing is to place your hand at the base, underneath, the back of my hand onto the head, because that's where I want it to end up. Now, very carefully smooth over, so I'm just brushing lightly the outer top section, and obviously at the same time coming in along the sides. So if I was to hold my hand up here when I brought it down, chances are I would get a gap. But if I hold it flat and tight under there, it's going to sit where I want it to finish in the end. So you are the master of where that hair is going to be directed to. And that's what it's all about. You have to master, perform the task that's going to give you your finished look. As I bring it down now, what's so really beautiful about this is if you look at what I've just created, if I put my hands in here, I can massage this completely around and give myself a really beautiful curved shape. Can you see how that's moved all the way around the head as well? So I'll come over the top again. Let's smooth a little bit more. Now I know that when I send this girl out with this degree of teasing at the base, I will always end up knowing that her hair will hold for the whole night. But if I just do a bit of teasing like this, and I put a can of hairspray in it, that's what you need to do to make that happen. You need to have the foundation right. So as I come through here now, all I'm going to do is just move some little soft pieces over the top, just to pretty it up so it doesn't look like it's a great lump of teasing with nothing going on. How's it looking, Ali?
Yes.
Do I need to fix anywhere? No? I'm on track?
On track.
Good.
Hairspray time.
Hairspray time?
Yes.
So when do I put hairspray in? I'm only ever going to really put the hairspray in when I'm pretty much finished. Because if I spray this up, it can look quite nasty. Now I just need to do this to the mirror. She's got a nice shape around the top. You see how she's got a nice shape where I've put it? Notice that the ends aren't so nasty because I haven't taken that teasing right out to the ends and caused that to look dry and unnatural looking. So just do some little flippy bits. Now when I do my little flippy bits, I will take my spray. Now this is just a medium hole spray, and very carefully continue to arrange with my spray. Do you hear how much spray is going on there? Just a little tiny shh. Nothing like the big can. I'm not a fan of the big sprayer. It's not necessary. And as I keep working, I'm just going to finish all these little pieces off. And I've got that cute little, I guess it's a little 60s sort of pony, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So this is something that every second person in Australia has. So I just assumed that it would be something that you guys would have as well. Now, if, for instance, this person says it looks a little bit too straight or a bit too pulled back, you can now come through here and just elevate ever so slightly around the crown and just break that up and make it a little bit softer. See how it's just that little bit looser, not quite as done. So that's always that little bit of like, I want it to look like I've done it myself, which is something we hear every other day. Goodness knows, I wonder what that would look like if they did do it themselves. But that just breaks up that hairline to make it softer and more natural. So you've got to learn to put your structure in, and that's what you would call deconstructing your hair. So we've got all of that smooth, we've got the teasing in, smoothed it down. This was all lovely and smooth, and all we've done is come through and just broken it all up to finish it up. What do you think? You like it? All right.
Gorgeous.
Now I want you guys to go ahead now, and let's see if we can get that happening. We've got till 4 o'clock. We're going to prepare our next model, and I'm going to ask you guys to see if you want to finish that off or have a go at this. I don't mind, but we will be taking the ponies out for tomorrow morning's exercise. So it's up to you with how you want to roll with that. All right, off we go.